up next, though, we do have Quizizz accommodations, which is a really cool feature, and we have Kim Van Horn, Kim or Kimberly. I'm not sure which you prefer, but you are
either way. I usually Kimberly, but Kim's fine too. Either's fine.
Okay. Well, Kimberly, whenever you would like to, you're welcome to share your screen and show us all about Quizizz accommodations.
Sorry, I have like 5 screens open, so I'm trying to find the right one.
No, you're fine. Take your time.
It's none of these. Why is this not on here? Or hold on, let me move this over and then I'll move this over. It'll work. There it goes.
Perfect. We can see it now. Thank you.
Okay. I have 5 screens and like 500 tabs open. So hold on. So I actually presented at ETC for Quizizz. I did it for all of the kind of new stuff about Quizizz, and then focusing on their new, the new stuff they added, because there's a lot of things that were added for Quizizz. A lot of AI kind of just helping teachers out, like kind of condensing the amount of times you spent actually making quizzes and setting up accommodation to meet your kids' needs. And there's flashcards now, and there's auto grading and all sorts of things. So I kind of condensed that very large presentation that I had into just accommodations, because for me, I think that might be a lot of what teachers need. So looking at the new accommodations that they have accommodations for question settings, reading support, and learning environment as a whole. Under question settings, there are things like extra time on the questions, reducing answer choices, participant attempts, redemption questions. For reading support, you have things like translating, and that's a ton of different languages. Reading the question out loud. It has fonts for any students who are dyslexic. It has font size and font spacing for anyone who has like a vision issue. Has a dictionary for bilingual speakers. And then for the learning environment, they have Don't Show Leaderboard, which is like about anxiety, as well as turning off the sounds. So I'm going to, there's a video. So hopefully I have the settings correct for this. You want to let me know if it plays or not.
We cannot hear it.
Okay, hold on. How do I get it so that you can hear it? I forgot how to do.
There's a little share bar up at the top that you might see, and there's like a computer with like a little speaker or audio icon. You should be able to click on that to switch to sharing your audio.
Okay, hold on. Share sound. Yes. Okay, hold on. Sorry, it's been a while.
No, you're good.
All right, check how amazing student accommodations are on Quizizz. So here's how it works, right? So when you log in, you assign a quiz, you have all these different accommodations. You can see here, you can give students extra attempts, you can translate the language, reduce their answer choices, you can make sure all the questions are read aloud to them, different types of font. There are so many different options here to give each student exactly what they need. And so what happens is you choose the students who need the right accommodations. So let's just say this group here needs these accommodations, and these groups need different accommodations, okay? And then when you assign it to the students, they get the exact same link. So one student sees something like this, where it's all 4 options and kind of a normal quiz, where another student or group of students sees something like this, that has only 2 options, questions read aloud, and whatever other accommodations you want. It is so amazing for meeting student needs.
Okay, so.
All right, check out.
Sorry, now that I just backed out of that. All right, so one of the accommodations is text-to-speak. So if you have students who needs things aloud, I use text-to-speak a lot, especially with my EL students who need it read to them. So you can actually have it set up where the question is read aloud to them. Like if they can't read English, I do have this. This is like my #1 thing that I use in a lot of my classes, is because maybe they can understand English if it's spoken, but they have trouble for reading. So a lot of my students do have this text-to-speak where it'll read aloud their questions. If you don't like how the question's read, or if you want to add audio, you yourself can also record yourself speaking, and then the students then can answer the questions. So a lot of times, like if you have specific things that you want answered, you can actually record yourself speaking to put a question. Another thing you can do for this is video. So if you do a flipped classroom, You can actually use this as well for your flipped classroom so that you can record yourself at home and put those videos on and then have your students answer the questions so that later on they have that information. Printing is also another thing. A lot of people don't use Quizizz because it's digital, and a lot of teachers want something that's printed. Also, a lot of my resource students go to take their test in another room, and sometimes they don't have access to their devices. So printing is a really good option for that. You can also print it using a variety of different things as well. So if you have students who need larger fonts, you can make the font bigger. Sorry. You can also have images for the questions bigger, as well as other things as well. You can just make it bigger for them. My favorite new, sorry, I'm like all allergies. My favorite thing that's new about Quizizz is answer breakdown. In the quiz, while the students are taking their test, you can actually have it set up to let them know why they got an answer wrong. And if you look on the side, it actually shows, it'll say the key idea of the question. It'll explain what the question is asking. It'll say what went wrong, so if a student got it wrong, and then it'll have a step-by-step explain the answer. What I really like about this is that all explanations can be generated automatically using artificial intelligence. So AI can actually go in and put all of this on your test without you having to touch it a minute. So I can make a 50-question Quizizz for my class in less than 5 minutes with explanations, so the students know exactly why they got that answer wrong instantaneously, and they're not waiting until the end of the quiz, not knowing like why they got it wrong, and by the time they find out why they got it wrong, then they forgot what they did anyway. So this is instant response for them. It's instant feedback. It also allows them to take the question over so that they can get it right away. So it's like instant kind of reflection on what they got wrong and then how to fix it. I have a video there, but I was trying to kind of move along. If you want to go back and watch it, it's there. So what I did is I opened kind of like a mock-up so you can like go in and play with it. I tried it on my side, and the problem with mine is it shows my students because I'm logged in for Quizizz. So you can try it on your end. What you're going to do is you're going to join using that code. You can go to joinmyquiz.com and enter that join code, or you can just put in that URL code, and it's going to ask you to sign in. Just if you sign in using your Modesto City Schools credentials, it'll open up. And you can go in, you can play with the AI of how to set up a quiz. Yeah, hold on, I can put the code in. Give me a second. As soon as I can find it. So it's just a way to kind of go in and see yourself how to set up your accommodations. I use accommodations a lot because I have a lot of EL students. The majority of ones I do use is the translate one. I use extra time.
Can you put the code back up, please?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the link. Hold on. Actually, I'm gonna put this up and then I'll put it in the thing as well. And I'll put it in right now. So give me 1 second. I'll put it in. So you can play with that for a little bit on your own. And in a minute, I'll go over some advanced question types as well to also help with accommodations. Sorry, my computer is like really slow right now. It's like performance anxiety for my computer. Why is this not working? Hold on. It's probably because I have like 5 million windows open. Here's one of the links for you to go through. You can go through and just hit preview. And then I'll do the actual one in minutes. But like I was saying, I do use this a lot in my classroom for accommodations. I do have an awful lot of EL students. I do extra time. I do attempts. I set all my attempts to, depending on if we're reviewing. If it's a review quiz, I set it for unlimited, because the more the students see it over and over and over again, especially with explanations, they're going to remember it. It's going to be an easier thing to recall because they see it over and over again correct. And so later on, when they get, yeah, I do unlimited for review all the time. Because I mean, for a grade, it's great, but at the same time, like, it's better to review. That way it's recall, it sits in their brain, and they're able to have it there. Okay, my other thing is not working. Okay, so I did link it. Hopefully that's working. But so yeah, so I do unlimited for reviews, and that way they're able to see it over and over again correctly, and they're able to kind of like make that change in their brain right away with the correct answer. And then it does streamline instantly into Schoology. So you can instantly make a quiz in less than 5 minutes using AI generated explanations, and then it auto grades for you into Schoology. So you take 5 minutes and you're instantly having something that you can give to your students and then go from there. It's super fast, it's really easy, and it provides you with much needed quick feedback. I use this sometimes if I'm just like, hey, I don't know how they're doing on this one particular subject. I'll give them like a quick quiz, and then I'm able to pull that information right away very quickly. And with Quizizz, there's just a vast amount of library as well to pull from to help as well with the quickness. While you guys are playing with that, hopefully you guys all got on there. I'm just going to go over some of the question types that they have now, that some of them are new. If you are studying for benchmark right now, as I am, I use these different question types to help them get ready for the benchmark. So the multiple choice is kind of the lower depth of knowledge where everybody's used to. Most people use multiple choice. The majority of the quizzes everybody does is multiple choice. However, using accommodations and helping students who learn in different ways, you have different questions to meet those needs. So fill in the blank is availability there for students who may have like more knowledge that they need to put in that maybe just don't see the multiple choice. Drawing. So sometimes if you have a student who can't like explain it just by multiple choice, sometimes they can draw their answer or solve a math problem. Like maybe they can't do the fundamental like clicking of the different parts of the calculator. They can draw it. Open-ended is also really neat now because it's AI auto enhanced as well. So if you are a language arts teacher or an English teacher, you can have open-ended questions that will auto grade for you using AI. So you can make your quiz with AI, which is a thing you can do too. You can actually pull standards as well. So you can make your quiz with standards using AI in less than 5 minutes, and it will auto grade as well using AI. So it's super quick. It's super easy. It's just a really quick feedback of how things are going. Video responses I do use sometimes for my students who have difficulty with language. I don't mind if I have a quiz where it's kind of more open, where they're allowed to give a video response. That way I can see what they know. Like maybe they're not great on doing quizzes, but they do know the information. Maybe there's like a language barrier there. Whereas if they have a video response, they're able to explain what they know, where they can't like do the same with just a multiple choice question. So I actually found that when I use this more with my EL students, they have a better chance at getting things correct because they're able to tell me like what they know versus like taking just a quiz using like multiple choice. Same thing with audio. If you have an answer where they are recording their own audio, sometimes that helps them as well. Sometimes they're able to talk through the question a little bit better, that I can like know where they're getting something wrong or know where they're on the right path, that maybe they need just a little bit of help versus just multiple choice. Like it just tells you whether or not they just know the question, period. Using video and audio kind of helps you delve a little bit deeper to understand like what they know and what they may or may not be missing. I like polls. Polls are really quick. There's no right answer. just like, do you agree, and different things like that. Sometimes I use them for exit tickets to see like if something's difficult for them. This one I use for benchmarks, because for our benchmark testing, we have match, drag and drop, and then drop down menus. My students, I was really surprised, especially since I taught computer literacy at the elementary, but my high school students do not know how to do testing stuff like this. Like, they don't know how to maneuver tests. So I have them practice on quizzes in order for the benchmark that they're not like having difficulty. So for matching, they actually can match, which is along with our benchmark. Reorder, we have reorder questions as well in the benchmark. So it works on ascending and descending order to teach them that skill, just how to do it on a test. Drag and drop is the same. When I first started giving the benchmarks for social science, my students had the worst trouble with drag and drop. So I've been including a lot more drag and drops into their quizzes to help kind of train them of how to do that, so that when they see that on the test, they're not freaking out. As well as drop down. So drop down is another thing that they were having trouble with for the benchmark. And so the more I have them practice, the better that they've been, and the more comfortable they feel at actually taking the benchmark test. I also like it, again, because everything is auto-graded. I know this sounds really bad as a teacher, but like, I'm really lazy when it comes to grading. I don't have a prep. So having everything as auto-graded as possible is really nice for me. Like, I will go back and check to make sure that like it's auto-graded correctly, but I don't 100%, just put every faith that it's 100% correct. But for the most part, it's never been wrong. And so it just helps me out as an educator, getting the feedback of what they're getting wrong or what they're getting right, and then instantly being able to then go back and pick up anything that I need to help recover, and then not having to spend so long just sitting there grading everything. Hotspots are really fun if you teach using images. So I use this for maps. If you're social science teachers, it's kind of fun putting a map there, and then they have to like put the area. Oh yeah, I use this for test prep all the time. But for maps, like I've just used this particular hotspot for teaching about World War II, so that they know where Poland was, because apparently high school students don't know where Poland is when you show them a map. So they're able to do it on the computer, and they can actually see it. And they actually, it's also it's AI generated as well. It helps to identify automatically. So it also auto helps them with that as well. Labeling, same thing. I label maps using this, and it also is AI generated as well. Again, saving you time as a teacher by kind of setting that up for you. Again, that's not like, I have a kind of interesting view on AI. I think it's really good when it comes to like time management, as long as it's not like your only teaching tool. But sitting there hours after hours making independent, like tiny questions on every single one of your quizzes takes forever. And I have 3 different subjects I teach. So saving that amount of time then lets me do other things that are just more beneficial for my students. Categorizing is a really good higher order level thinking as well. Okay. So like I tried to condense, because when I presented, it was like massive. So I try to just kind of focus just on accommodations. But Quizizz now, I don't know if you use it in your classroom. I use it every single day for a variety of different things. It's crazy because a lot of teachers think, especially the teachers I talk to, even at my own site, kind of just see it only for multiple choice quizzes that they give. But you can use it for a variety of things. And it's just a lot of ease for teachers. It takes a lot of pressure and like time management away from what you have to focus on. And it just makes everything just so much easier and more accessible for everyone. So yeah, I condensed it all. I tried. So does anyone have any questions? Oh, I have my email too. I'm in the district. If you have any questions for Quizizz, I am a Quizizz certified educator. You can also get that as well. You can go through Quizizz. I'm also certified for AI if you need any help with that aspect. But just a lot of different features for Quizizz.